Android 17 is basically here, and we've had a handful of beta iterations to reach this point. There are genuinely useful upgrades coming to this one, so let me talk you through what makes this update low-key one of the most convenient changes in a long time. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Thomas, and we're now on Android 17 Beta 3, meaning the full release really isn't too far down the line. We're expecting the final full Android 17 OTA upgrade to drop sometime in June, but for now, this is what we've got. I have it installed on my Pixel 9 Pro. You can sort this for yourself by signing up for the beta program and then heading to the Android Flash tool and running through their super handy and convenient setup wizard. Just make sure you're running it through a Chrome browser for the best results. I had already set this up, so all I needed was to download the roughly 3 GB update from the OTA standard update page. Android 17 isn't the same crazy visual overhaul as Android 16 M3e was, but it's also not just another boring update where all the changes are under the hood either. The first major change is something we've been asking for quite a long time, and that is a split in Wi-Fi and cellular connection buttons in the quick settings shade, or the ability to split them, because by default you just get the Wi-Fi one. This makes life so much easier for those that are constantly toggling data, changing settings. Whenever I go to another flavor of Android and come back to the Pixel, I always get frustrated that this doesn't have that feature. Well, now it does. We're already off to a great start with Android 17. If you enjoy the content we make here, then please do consider hitting the subscribe button to help us hit our goal of 500,000. Thank you very much. Next up is a big change, or perhaps addition, because multitasking bubbles gives you a new way to quickly switch between frequently used applications available in floating orbs. You can run up to 5 applications simultaneously right now, and it even gives you suggestions as to which new apps to quickly load up. This isn't necessarily a replacement for the current recents menu, and if I'm totally honest, I'm not sure how much more convenient this is versus using the traditional way to pull up the recent applications, but it is at least something new and fresh. And I'm not sure if this will make it to the final build, but let me know in the comments what you think of these bubbles and if you'd actually use them on your phone. Also not necessarily an Android 17 update, but something that I do need to bring up is the sideloading situation. Google basically came out and said newer versions of Android, particularly with the Pixel, will not allow for custom app sideloading, which is what we normally do with APKs and stuff. The internet went absolutely berserk about this news, and fair enough. And then it came out that you need to sort of apply for a sideloading functionality within your phone. It's a one-time thing, it takes 24 hours before you can enable it in the settings. And I sort of understand why they put this in place for those less tech literate, where some people might be fished into giving someone control over their mobile phone via a remote control app, only for the scammer to log into their victim's bank account and wire transfer all the savings away. You can see why these sorts of things have been put in place, but I know for enthusiasts it's a bit of a pain in the butt. At least it's only a one-time thing, and yes, this is slightly old news, but I did want to talk about it because I hadn't spoken about it since the news came out, so I wanted to cover it in this video. So you know how a lot of people take photos and videos in social media applications like Snapchat and Instagram instead of using the first-party proper camera app that everyone else uses? Yeah, I know it's kind of insane, but people do it, trust me. Anyway, the quality of the images coming from those third-party apps such as Instagram and Snapchat usually a lot worse than the main app. But this new update allows developers more hardware and software control of the individual cameras, so we might actually see improved quality and power across the more popular Android phones. I say that because I'm not sure how easy it would be to do this wholesale, apply it to many different models and makes, and there's an awful lot of them out there. So I'm not sure if there's really that much hope for your phone in particular. But if you own one of the more popular models, hey, maybe these tech firms will make better use of the cameras so that people can stop saying that iPhones have better cameras. Hello, Editor Ryan here. What I forgot to mention in this video is that you can now map the individual buttons when you connect your controller to your Android phone. So you can go in, select a button and then remap it to whatever you want it to do. And it's just giving us more customization and functionality, which is always great to see. Expanded dark mode lets you manually set light or dark mode on an app by app basis, which though might sound a little basic on the surface, is actually mega handy for those apps where the developer for some reason just cannot make a good quality dark mode. And you have to keep that on light mode in particular. And for those who use light mode all the time, we cannot be friends. There have been some more UI tweaks, such as the ability to independently control the volume output of Google Assistant, aka Google Gemini, which is pretty handy so that you don't end up deafening yourself with the robot person in your ear when you're listening to a quiet video turned up. And the screen recorder now has an updated widget thing, which is pretty cool too. Speaking of widgets though, there is now some UI blur going on in this particular and niche part of the Android interface, which is a bit weird, but do you guys remember those rumours and those leaks going around of Android potentially getting some more blur in its interface? Well, it looks like this could be the start of it maybe. Perhaps the devs are just playing around to gauge interest from people who are actually testing the beta, or maybe we'll never see it again. Or perhaps this truly is a taste of what's to come. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the added visual blur in the comment section though. Do you like it? Should it be reserved for particular applications? Is it just for this little test? You know, never to come into the final build? I guess we'll find out. But one feature I think they should keep around is the ability to hide app labels on the home screen of Pixel phones. It's just another customization tool to keep your phone looking and feeling fresh. Is it going to matter to the majority of people? Probably not, to be honest, but it's also nice to have the option, and that's great to see here. I was never expecting this update to be a game-changing overhaul version of Android, such as the Android 16 with M3E, but I also appreciate the changes that have been made. Stuff like screen recording UI might not for me be the most interesting of tweaks, but bubble multitasking, the Gemini volume control, the split connections buttons, and the app labels are all things that, sure, I wasn't absolutely begging for. Okay, I maybe was a little bit begging about the split connections thing, but this stuff is genuinely useful and a lovely quality of life update in Android 17. Seems to be a pretty decent step up from the previous versions, and on my Pixel 9 Pro, I was enjoying playing around with all the new features, most of which are actually designed to just make your life a little easier. And that's never a bad thing, is it? Are you interested in Android 17 at all with the new quality of life improvements? Do you care about Android updates at all, or do you feel like actually many Android updates are sort of useless and that you're more interested in the differences between individual skins like One UI, ColorOS, HyperOS, and so on? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and whilst you're down there, be sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's content and subscribe to never miss another upload on this YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Ryan Thomas, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.